Welcome to the Chess Diary, Entry 2. This is a game I play as both white and black. This is the Italian game. Here I castle, typical moves. I am playing from the top of my head, so I'm not specifically following move order. And as you see, I am playing casually, so there is many obvious blunders in the game. There's these moments when your conscious brain suddenly kicks in and see that the pawn on d4 is protected twice, but then you realize that your intuition was on point, because yes, I have just lost the knight and I cannot take with the queen because the bishop on d4 is protected by the black knight. But as you can see, the black knight on g4 is hanging, and that is exactly what the intuition was doing. So here I'm castling as black, but this is obviously a blunder because this move I think is very good as white. Now the rook is hanging. The bishop h6 was threatening mate, so I thought I had to push the pawn, and now the rook is gone. Again, this is a casual game, but to be honest, I have been on a long break, so this might be the first game I play in ages. Recapture. I see that the black position is vulnerable, so I try to take advantage. Here queen f4 threatening mate again, so I had to push to protect. And now this check, going for a manhunt against the king, and here I can see that black is terribly positioned. Half the army is in its base squares undeveloped, and the king is taking a walk in the middle of the street. So obviously the attacking signal for white is going crazy. This pawn take is a discovered check by the rook, so the king now is in check. The white bishop of the Italian is always a delight. Now where the king goes, I thought of going upstairs to the middle of the board, because where else could you go? Maybe this is not the best move, but come on, half the game is a blunder. Now, to be honest, I was really focused on mating the king as white, so I'm not saying that I was biased, but I really intuitively wanted to mate the black king. So this move by the queen f4 is check. Trying to create a mating net, but the king might be the single most elusive piece on the board. It is not easy to really create a mating net and actually mate the king. Of course, it's a matter of training and pattern recognition and practicing, spending the time and effort. Of course, your mental energy should be engaged. It's not a rock throwing game. So now I'm trying to figure out a way to mate the king. Here my thought was to protect the bishop, because the bishop is making a really good slices in the middle of the board, restricting the movement of the black king. So because this is not a check move, now black has the time to breathe a little. I was thinking of playing a developing, much needed move, any developing move actually, just to bring any piece to be in aid for the king. And now the queen steps in, queen f6. Now I was thinking of luring the king in, checking the king for the sake of any tempo. This pawn move, b4 check, is a pawn sacrifice just in order to force a king move. And now I have a file opened against the king and completely dropping the knight, which is intentionally, again, just for the sake of forcing the king to move in order to gain a tempo, thinking that my two active rooks, my bishop and the queen, will actually suffice to mate the king, especially that the king is making a trip on the beach of the white side of the board. And now the queen serving a hospitality check, king retreats, and here I am completely focused on mating the king. And this right here, when we sense that the end is near, we enter this tunnel vision, when we almost cannot see what there is but what we want to see. And although it might be the best thing for us to be focused on what we want to see, it is also crucial to be aware of what there is, at least as a peripheral vision, for us to be conscious and deliberate of what we are doing. This move, this queen move, I have just retreated. Take back this queen move because I moved it directly into the lap of the knight. I just blundered the queen, so I took it back. I am not proud of this take back, but I really could resist to take it back. The canvas on the board was too beautiful for me to not mating the king. I can see that mate is possible, maybe inevitable. I'm sure I have blundered a shorter sequence, but I was just playing casually as a stretch of coming back. Here is a noticed that it's mate actually, and the game is over. I'm pretty sure that I didn't do black, it's justice. But there is something really important I think we should be noticing, which is this is only one game of many, hopefully. Therefore, one game does not dictate who you are. We can blunder the queen, we can blunder mate. Both cases we are winning. White, black, win, loss, it doesn't matter. As long as you are playing, then you are on the win side. Thank you.